Past me, you seem a little bit down. What's wrong?
Nothing. It was stupid anyways.
Oh, come on, I've done a lot of stupid shit. What is it?
Well, you know those werewolves from Van Helsing, right?
Oh yeah, I remember those werewolves. Best werewolves portrayed in media by far.
Well, I liked them so much that I wanted to become one.
Oh.
And I tried to look up all the easiest spells I could do, and none of them worked.
Oh, really? Whoever could have seen that coming? Hello everyone, my name is Blue Raven 666 and I'm jumping the line a bit with this video simply because I've seen so many questions and statements on my videos here on YouTube and on TikTok with people jumping into things that they're not ready for or making assumptions that are wrong or just outright dangerous that desperately needs to be cleared up. So even though it wasn't the most requested option in the poll on my community tab, today I'm going to be clearing up some of the most common stereotypes and misconceptions about witches and witchcraft. A lot of what people know about witchcraft and witches in general tends to come from either mythology, religion, or stories about witch trials from yesteryears. We're commonly depicted or automatically written off as evil or delusional, when that really isn't the case. And here brings me to the first stereotype, the Wicked Witch. If you're expecting a real witch to look or act like the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz, or the witches from Hocus Pocus, then I've got news for you. Real witches don't look or act like that. Real witches are a major far cry from the characters and decorations you see around Halloween. We look and behave like humans, just the same as non-witches. The clerk checking out your groceries at the supermarket could be a practicing witch, or your local mail person. We have jobs, we have lives, we have families. We're just the same as everyone else in that regard. On a similar note, there is no defining mark of a witch. On TikTok especially, people like to make mention of specific birthmarks, moles, freckles, or lines that are, quote, the mark of a witch. Listen, freckles kinda run in my family. Everyone on my mom's side of the family gets more of them the older they get. That's really all that boils down to. Genetics. If you have a freckle on the back of your left arm, or lines on your right thumb make an X or a cross, it doesn't mean anything. If you practice witchcraft, you're a witch. If you don't practice witchcraft, you're not a witch. Simple as that. This is a really old stereotype that simply isn't true. Even certain forms of media, like Harry Potter, push this sort of idea that women who practice witchcraft are called witches, and men who practice witchcraft are called something else. In actuality, the word witch is neutral. No matter your gender identity, if you practice witchcraft, you're a witch. You don't have to find a different term for yourself, like wizard or warlock, just because of what may or may not be between your legs. No. Plain and simple, just no. A witch's powers comes from their own spiritual energy, their intent, as we say. Satan has nothing to do with it. Many witches don't even recognize Satan as an actual entity that exists at all. This misconception is a classic case of the church pushing the agenda that magic is pure evil, no matter what it's used for. Even though members of the church perform certain acts of witchcraft themselves, which include, but are not limited to, baptisms, exorcisms, making holy water, the whole bread and wine thing, etc. It still qualifies as witchcraft. This misconception was actually brought up to me by one of my neighbors. While Wicca is probably the religion most widely known for witchcraft, the term witch existed long before Wicca was first introduced in 1954. For context, the individual in question thought it was pronounced witcha, not Wicca. But regardless, practically every pantheon is home to a practicing witch, not just Wicca. Oh, if only, right? Even though I am a proud Hufflepuff, being a witch and practicing witchcraft is not like it is in movies and TV. If you were to watch a witch in action, it legitimately looks like we're playing around with a bunch of rocks, herbs, and spices around some candles. It's nothing quite as mystical or dramatic as what you see in Harry Potter or Buffy the Vampire Slayer, although Willow comes a little closer to the idea. To all my fellow witches out there, I want you guys to count how many times the main cast should have died just from the basic in-class stuff they did, not even counting Fluffy or the Hydra or Voldemort, just from the first 3 movies alone, because it's probably a lot, now that I'm thinking about it. This is going to be a jab at all of my fellow witches who have been using similar phrases to this to intimidate people. This is why people think we're fakes. This is why people think we're crazy and won't take anything we say seriously. You know you can't make someone who's talking smack turn into a toad. I know you can't turn someone into a toad or make them grow fur or horns or hooves and a tail. I wish I was joking with this, but I have legitimately seen people say this to try to make a point. This was the entire reason for the introduction to this video. Witchcraft cannot do these things. There are limits. And those limits pretty much end at skinwalkers and wendigos, and they do that to themselves. Stop spreading this lie. You're not intimidating or scaring anybody. All you're doing is further ruining the reputation of the witch and pagan community, and these bullshit threats are cringe. Very cringe. This is something that a lot of witches struggle with. But we learn at some point. Not every little thing that happens to you or around you is a sign or a message from the universe or your deities. Sometimes you might see or experience something that might be a sign, but if you're able to rule out any reason for it, then it's just a coincidence. For example, let's say a red fox crosses the road as I'm driving home. Well, my area is not really known for its abundance in red foxes, so it's just a coincidence. However, if my drive is fairly lengthy and I encounter 3 red foxes during 3 different points of the trip, it could be a sign. The magician to my tarot deck just so happens to be a red fox, so I may need to see if the magician has a message for me. Not everything is a sign. Not everything has to mean something. Stop discriminating against black cats. They're cats with black fur. That's it. Not bad luck, not a bad omen, and they're not agents for us witches. They're beautiful animals that deserve love and affection. That's it. End the discrimination against black cats now, please. I sort of know where people are coming from with this one. On Witch Talk, for example, some members end up going viral around the community, and about half of the time, those witches are performing some kind of hex or a curse. Some people do use witchcraft to cause harm to people. I'm not denying that at all. But what a lot of people don't realize is that for every witch that's choosing to perform a hex, there's hundreds, if not thousands of others that are trying to do good. Protection spells, banishing negative energies, positivity spells, spells to bring luck and good fortune, spells to evoke justice, the list goes on. Rather than trying to hex the fae or cursing the moon, a lot of us would rather focus our intent on doing magic that has a positive or constructive outcome. And this is why I say, if you're wanting to learn witchcraft just to hex people, then you're in the wrong place. Because witches like that are really hard to respect, trust, and listen to. Which leads us to our last misconception for this video. Witchcraft can do a lot for us, but it isn't the be-all end-all to your problems. Tarot cards, for instance, can point to certain problems in your life, but they can't fix them for you. Sage can protect you from negative entities, but it's not going to do anything if you yourself are a negative person. Hexes are all fun and games until karma starts coming your way, and love spells are just tampering with someone else's free will, and should just be avoided altogether. A lot of the time, certain problems can't be solved with magic or witchcraft. Learning witchcraft doesn't automatically make you a god that can just snap their fingers and fix everything that's wrong in your life. Sometimes you have to take action, bite the bullet, and do it yourself, or let the problem play out on its own. That's the harsh reality of real life. Witchcraft can't fix everything. It can't do anything. And if you start learning the craft thinking that you can, you're setting yourself up for a lot of disappointment. And there you have it, my list of common misconceptions and stereotypes about witches that are half true at best. That'll be all for this video, you guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to learn more about witches and witchcraft, tune into my Witchcraft 101 playlist, or request the types of witchy-related videos you'd like to see in the comment section below. My name is Blue Raven 666, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!